I'm selling my 1996 Ford F150, the XL edition. I've got the 8-foot box. It's got the 5.0 V8 engine, the 302, and it is a rear-wheel drive, not the 4x4, so it's not for going off-road, unfortunately, but it's still a very good truck. As you can see, it's fairly rust-free for an Ontario truck of this year. I mean, there are little pieces here. The other side is a little bit worse. But for a 20-year-old Ontario truck, it's pretty good. Most of the ones I've seen in this province are really way more rusted than this. The cab corners just have a tiny bit of flaking, that's it. Rocker panels are good. The driver's one is slightly worse. And the frame is fairly solid as well. I've done a decent job of mechanical upgrades, I think. It runs and drives quite well for the year. Let me pop the hood here. It's got 284,000 kilometers, but it still runs quite well. I've got an amp and a sub in here, so it's got a good sound system. 4 new Kenwood speakers, new JVC deck as well, the USB, and Bluetooth. Unfortunately, these aren't mounted. I have not found a way to mount them, as odd as it seems, so there is a bit of play with that. Just another small little issue, but they are connected correctly and everything works. It's a good system. Okay, let's see under the hood here. I did all 4 brakes. Complete drum brake rebuild was done in June. I did both e-brake cables as well, a couple brake lines running from the front to the splitter in the back. The front brakes I did pads, rotors, and calipers in August, so the brakes work amazingly well. All the fluids were done in between June and July. Brake fluid was flushed and filled with the front brakes, of course, and the rear. Coolant was changed, gear oil was changed, transmission fluid was changed, and I've used synthetic oil every 4,500 to 5,000 kilometers. Oh, 1 second here. There we go. Sorry about that. It does look a little dirty under here. There's a lot of built-up dust on there. I don't have a pressure washer, I'm sorry. The battery's brand new, the starter is brand new, alternator is original, so I would not count on that too much longer. Their lifespan usually is about 20 years. There's the amp wire there. Let's see, air filter has changed as well. The brake fluid, I know some of the Fords had an issue with this. There is a very slow seepage. Like I said, I topped it up about 20,000 kilometers ago and it's still full, so it really is not a big issue. The valve cover I had to change. It was rusted. The only one they had was for a Mustang. Obviously with the Fox bodies had the same engine, so it's chrome and fancy looking. Oil goes in there. NGK spark plugs and wires. There isn't any crossfire issue on this due to the new wiring. Let's see. The rad has been changed. It was changed just before I bought it, about 40,000 kilometers ago. It's from a Bronco. That's why it's got this little extra piece there. It was cleared for safety with that. I know it looks odd. The Bronco rads had a second hose that ran into the engine, but the trucks did not. What else has changed in here? Every AC part is new. Condenser, dryer, evaporator, you name it. They're all brand new. I went down to California with this thing and I figured I might as well have the best cooling system I could. The belt and tensioner as well. It's only one belt in this thing, not separate ones. Now for the issues, as you can see here, the EGR pipe that runs from the valve into the intake has been rusted through. Patch jobs don't work because its exhaust gas is too hot for that. I've tried a couple JB Weld, even tried the exhaust wrap, the muffler wrap stuff, doesn't work. I have the brand new pipe from Ford, got it down in Denver. I don't want to install it. It's not a job that I would like to do because the intake has to come off. I have the new intake manifold as well. So for someone who's a little more mechanically inclined, it wouldn't be that bad. A couple of vacuum lines here need to be repaired. They're cracked. A couple of them are taped up here. That's a piece of a new hose there. What else is in here? That's an issue. There is a small oil leak from the passenger side valve cover, which I do also have. I bought the set of 2 and the valve cover gasket as well. As for suspension and stuff, I mentioned brakes. I did all 4 new shocks in June. The Monroe gas charge shocks, all four ball joints were changed as well, the uppers and lowers, both sides, and alignment was performed, although it is needed again. There is some wear on the control arms. Springs are okay. Spring mounts could use a little bit of maintenance, perhaps. Some of the rubber bushings are a little worn, but it drives quite well. It rides quite smooth for a truck of its age and size. I mean, these things never did ride like Cadillacs anyway, obviously. There's the shocks there as well. The ball joints were done, the shocks were done, the brakes are all done. Exhaust-wise, there's a couple hangers that are broken, but it's still hanging on. And there is a small rattle due to one of the hangers hitting it, somewhere between the tire and the cat. So at certain engine speeds, you hear a bit of an exhaust rattle, but I didn't see the point of changing it unless I have to do a whole new exhaust, which I don't want to do. Brand new rear gas tank, the steel one. The front one, which is mounted kind of under here, is plastic, so it's not going to rust. However, it does need a new fuel pump. It is possible to run the truck on the front one, but it's not very good in the city. It's not very good at accelerating. It's only at about 3 or 4 psi, whereas the back is proper at about 39 to 40. I have the new front fuel pump as well. I just don't want to bother dropping the tank and changing it. That's not really something I'm comfortable doing. So, as I said, most of the issues, A, are quite small, and B, I actually have the parts for anyways. So, tires are okay. These ones have some tread left. They're pretty good. A couple of them are worn a little bit. This one's a little more worn here. I don't know if you can see it very well on the video, but tread's looking to be a little worn down there, so that probably will have to be dealt with. At least a couple new tires. I have a couple spares at home. Tailgate works well. The cables are very good, intact, both of them. Bedliner in here was there when I bought it. It's solid, doesn't leak through or anything, so carried a lot of stuff back here. And it's got a handle on the inside. As I said in the ad, there is a color matching cap that goes with it. I have all the bolts and attachment stuff. It's got 2 sliding windows on each side and on the front, so you can access the cab from the back and vice versa. However, the back window, the one that lifts up, the glass is broken. It was shattered in a mall parking lot. I was not pleased about that. As I said, I did the custom Ford writing. I like that. This bumper will be coming off. I have a brand new chrome one. This is the paint they have on it, which I don't like. I have an actual chrome colored one, the same as the front. That'll be attached when the truck is sold. Let's see, the dual tanks here. Sliding Ford window, I think is pretty cool. It works pretty well. Interior. The only real thing in here that's kind of odd is the driver's window handle. I'm missing the little torque screw. It does work. You just gotta hold it, so it's not the most convenient for driving down the highway or rolling down the window, but it does work. And the only other thing, little quirk I should mention, is that this temp gauge here was added before I bought it, because the one on the dash did not work, and I figured I'd like to know what it's running at, especially a 20-year-old vehicle. It is inaccurate, but also accurate at the same time. From what I gather from my mechanic, this was not meant for an engine of this size, and it usually reads about 210 to 230 when it's at proper temp. I believe the coolant temp sensor is mounted in the wrong place on the engine. That's what he has told me. I mean, I've driven this thing 30,000 kilometers, and it's consistently read about 210 to 230, and it's never showed any signs of overheating. So the center on here at about 180 or 190, whatever it is false. And the 210 to 230 range there actually works out to about 195 Fahrenheit. I know it's kind of confusing. I'm sure to someone, as I said, who knows mechanics, the temp sensor can probably be relocated to record an accurate temperature. But it's just one of those things that as long as you know what it actually reads, you're okay. Let's see here. I think that's about all. It's got the stereotypical Ford power steering leak there. But the steering works fine. It does need an alignment, but that's the only issue with that. I mentioned the EGR thing. As I said, the battery's new, the starter's brand new. These things were all changed. I did new headlights, the bulbs, and these things. They were pretty yellow. New grille, new bumper down there as well. So yeah, this is the only other kind of odd thing. Although it's an original windshield, it appears to have been sealed by the previous owner. Again, I've never had any issues with it in 7 or 8 months of owning the truck. Never been told anything bad about it by a mechanic, but I feel I should put it in the video in case someone asks any questions. I just kind of ignored it. It didn't seem to do anything negative, so. And I think that's about it. So, yes, all in all, with the extra parts, I have a couple spare parts as well. I got a couple fuel filters, oil filters, a couple spare ball joints, tie rods, etc. like that, plus the cap and everything. And I got 2 spare tires and rims that are very functional. I'm looking to get $3,700 for the truck. Call me or text me at 647-890-4164 if you want to make me an offer. I'm located in Scarborough. It is plated and insured still, so if you want to do test drives, that's perfectly fine. Highway is okay too. I use it on the highway all the time. Let's see if I can get a picture of this oil leak here. This is just water. But, where are we there? Yeah, you can see in the ground there, maybe there's a couple little drops of oil. It's not leaking much, but it's just not something I'm comfortable dealing with. I'm not that skilled of a laborer, so just thought I should mention that in the video as well. But as I said, if you have any comments or questions or would like to make me an offer or come see the truck, please let me know. 647-890-4164. Thank you. Have a good day.